We have probably all heard the term soulmate before, but the term twin flame may be new to us. We're going to discuss the differences with these connections and their intensity, as well as the potential fate with them. Many of us has probably met a soulmate throughout our life. It doesn't have to be romantic, since it could be with family and friends. Some people have used the term to describe their ultimate lover, but that often is just not the case most of the time. Soulmate connections are generally described as someone whom you share a past life with. Whether or not you believe that is entirely up to you. But the fact is that soulmate connections are more than just surface level connections. The connections run deep, and they are often filled with profound transformation and synchronicities. Romance can certainly be involved in these connections. Soulmates come into your life when you need them. They help you on your journey. You will often connect with them on a deep level, sharing many interests and past experiences. They could live in a completely different culture, yet still share many of your ambitions and interests in life. They may even be similarities with physical appearance, family, and even reactions and emotions. You may finish each other's sentences and know what you are thinking. They often cause a spiritual awakening and alter the path in life you are currently on. You can look back and say that without them in your life, it would be completely different. They impact you in ways that no one else does, and you could both resonate on a deep level, sharing a bond that seems like it will last for eternity. However, the problem is that the bond usually ends. Why? Soulmates have one purpose: to allow you to learn major lessons, change your current trajectory in life, and let go of what no longer serves you as you become closer to your true, divine self. Once this is complete, they are no longer needed. However, it goes beyond just that. Soulmates don't often start out on the same path. Rather, think of their path being like two roads that eventually intersect. This intersection is when you meet and share time together, learning and growing. It may just be a few weeks, months, years, and sometimes a lifetime. But the connection usually ends since the path both take after the connection becomes different from the core values both initially started. You may find that your soulmate no longer understands you or thinks like you, despite connecting deeply initially. This is a sign of a soulmate. They are profound and life-changing. So what could a twin flame possibly be then? The term twin flame is usually described as a soul that has been split into two physical bodies. They are often thought of as your mirror and your ultimate love partner. Whether or not you believe that is entirely up to you. That's not the point of this information. Rather, thinking of everything we just talked about with soulmates and multiply it by 100. These are often once-in-a-lifetime connections that are so profound that they are very rapid, cause a massive spiritual awakening. It will bring up all the old trauma and insecurities you have been hiding for years. All of this is often so quick and profound that it can often scare one or both parties, leading them to wanting to escape and run away from the situation and connection, yet still feel drawn to it, but they don't know why. Twin flame connections are often filled with synchronicities. They may have shared interests, but it will be very different from soulmates. Twin flame connections often do not have shared interests and a common history, at least not like soulmates do. Rather, their life goal is aligned, but they often express it differently. One person could be focused on personal development, dedicated to growth and success. They do it by practicing meditation and keeping their mind sharp and able to handle emotional turmoil. However, the other person has the same goals, but may express it by focusing on their physical body. They may eat very well, work out, and pay close attention to their physical health. Both people share a common goal, but are very different at the way they express it. One could have a desire to help people, and they do so via the mental route, while the other has the same passion, but helps others through the physical route. This is a key difference between soulmate and twin flames. Another key difference is the lessons they are teaching you. While soulmates will help you heal, twin flames will rip through deeply suppressed issues that have been dormant for a long time. Their existence in your life triggers these issues within you, and you're forced to heal them. If you refuse and run away, then you'd be running away from your own development and personal growth. Furthermore, despite the difficulties with the connection, both are compelled to keep coming back to each other if they are ever separate, which also tends to be a common practice, primarily initially as old wounds resurface. If this was a soulmate and this happened, the connection likely wouldn't last, and one or both parties would develop a hatred towards the other. The intersection metaphor comes into play here where the paths no longer align and they're off on different journeys. However, twin flame connections are very different. Imagine a 10-lane highway. You're in a car driving towards your goal, and your twin flame is also driving on the same highway in a different car, perhaps somewhere in front or behind you, also towards the same goal. Their car will be different, as will be the things inside of it, but the destination is the same. Of course, what they perceive as the destination is different, as we discussed with the mental and physical example, but the overall goal is the same. Unlike soulmates, where the connection changes and is often lost, a twin flame connection is often one that is constantly helping each other grow towards their ultimate goal, which is connecting to their true self. The connection could end in romance, but both parties must be dedicated to constantly evolving and growing for it to work properly. These connections bring out a more profound love for yourself and others, to love unconditionally. You may have never known what true love was until you met your twin flame. To sum it up, both soulmate and twin flame connections are intense and here to help you learn and grow, connect to your higher self, and become the best version of yourself. The key difference is that twin flame connections are far more intense, leading to accelerated spiritual awakening and bring up old trauma and insecurities. Soulmates also have different life paths, and they eventually meet, but will often fizzle out after the lessons are learned. While twin flames are part of you and share the same goal and vision as you, but manifested in very different ways, usually in a more feminine and masculine way. Both of these connections are life-changing and ones to cherish and be grateful for.